taken your counsel, and you done me good service, but I will not hurt the boy. I will see Fink and Comstock burn, but I will not hold the son to account for the deeds of his father.
You've misunderstood us.
We neither asked you to harm the child.
Nor did we promise that yours would be the hand that would set Comstock's world afire.
A famous man once said,
And a famous man shall say,
I may reach the mountaintop,
but I fear I shall never visit the valley below.
But you mean I won't live to see the... No.
It's up to you what matters more.
Your part in the play?
Or the play itself.
Someone is coming.
She'll arrive a girl.
She must leave a woman.
And what makes the difference between a girl and a woman?
Blood.
Your part in the play.
Or the play itself.
Turn her into a killer? How?
Give the girl no choice.
And she will be forced to make one.
Those who had all will have nothing. Those who idle shall toil.
Say it!
answer for this, girl. My living quarters got reassigned already. I'm sleeping in Fink's bed tonight.
Our current state of being, or lack thereof, has left my brother unfulfilled. The biological urge to leave one's mark is strong, and it is not an impossibility. We could instantiate ourselves back in Columbia, return to an old life for the possibility of creating new. But we died in that world. Returning would mean giving up part of us. Ourselves. We'd become flesh and all that it is heir to. The mysteries of the universe would become once again mysteries.
What's that thing you just picked up?
My guess is that it has something to do with that giant clock out there. And that clock has something to do with opening the door to Fink's lab.
A giant clock?
Sort of. Looks like the mechanism unlocks certain activities when Fink gives his blessing.
So what? We're stuck waiting for the cuckoo to go off?
No. We've already found the clock key. We can manually wind it. Open whatever door we please.
Sure seems like a lot of work to lock down a few doors.
Yo, if there's one thing Fink loves, it's a lot of work.
slugs. Goddamn sea slugs. Could that Oriental have come up with a more inconvenient fuel for his plasmids? If there is a God, and I've seen more evidence to the contrary than in support, you'd think he'd have put Adam into the belly of a nice little seagull or crow. The cost of all these underwater expeditions are murdering my margins.
As to the matter of religion, let me place myself in the camp of the agnostic. I pretend to understand the mysteries of the infinite no more than you, Comstock, or anyone else for that matter. But for the sake of argument, let's say this is all one unhappy accident, and we're all alone in our toils. Then who would Comstock use to control and shame us with rules that apply only to those with not a penny in their pocket? If there were no God, you could rest assured the first deed done by the first rich man would be inventing him.
Idiot, his lock of hair.
Listen, I got you your gun. I'm here for my issue.
But my Booker DeWitt died for the Vox Populi. You either an imposter or a ghost. My Booker DeWitt was a hero to the cause, a story to tell your children. You just complicate the narrative.
Look, are you there? I miss you. You were the only one who ever... You were my only friend. Booker.
I'm not even here. I'm a projection of your own.
Could you humor me then? Please.
I think Booker would miss you.
Comstock is going to answer for this.
Jesus, it's ripe in here. Say, somebody, fetch me a millionaire to clean this mess up.
Comstock promises there's nothing to be worried about. But I don't like the smell of things down in Finkton. Not one bit. If trouble rears its ugly head in the form of one cantankerous negress, I've laid in some supplies in the event of a forced evacuation. They're down in what I call my chamber of panic, near the base of my statue. I've set the code to 8371.
Where are you going? Kill your oppressor!
Here I come.
Who did this? I'll hunt you down! Who done this? Someone about? To arms!
Daisy sacrificed herself. Set me up to kill her, to turn me into what?
A killer.
Yeah, well, mission accomplished. I'm no martyr. How did you do it, Booker? How did you...
Elizabeth, I'm not Booker.
And neither am I. hair sample in a haystack. Listen to that racket. Damn air grabber must be busted.
find her. Who's it?
Someone's sneaking around. Come out!
Little piggy! I'll find
getting so the foxes are afraid of the hens. If Fink was going to hire a bunch of goons to keep an eye on the handymen, he should have found some with less yellow in the belly. Now they're hiding away from Tin Man invalids in their precious little guard room. If you need to get in there on your shift, the code is 2847.
Lousy traitors. I bet I could find them.
I heard you. You can't hide forever, love.
That did not sound right. Come back here. Someone else can find it. Can't stop me this time. You can't stop me this time.
What's
See
going
where she
on?
went?
Get in your brain!
Sea slugs. Goddamn. Now, I know there's been some concern about the nature of the work we do here at Fink Manufacturing. Why, some say they're uncomfortable with the Comstock promises there's nothing to be worried about. But I don't like the smell of things down in Finkton. Not one bit. If trouble rears its ugly head in the form of one cantankerous negress, I've laid in some supplies in the event of a forced evacuation. They're down in what I call my chamber of panic, near the base of my statue. I've set the code to 8371.
Seems like Fink and Suchong were sharing their research.
Like the Lutesses. Cross-reality collaboration. It all makes a kind of sense. The little sisters and the big daddies. Songbird and me.
Constants and variables. What is all this?
Imprinting. That's a wire mother. If you separate a gorilla from its real mother, it will imprint on almost anything. Even that.
Why would Fink care about that?
Songbird. He wanted him to imprint on me.
Well, if I recall, that was a problem he solved. What's that?
It's a skeletal formula for oxytocin. That's the chemical that bonds mothers to children, women to men, and...
Songbirds to little girls?
Apparently not. Fink dismissed it as an unsuitable vector. These poor things. Fink couldn't get them to imprint, so he left them to die. Imprinting failed. That can't be right. Clearly they formed a connection between Songbird and me.
How?
I was so young, I always remember him just being there. It must be a prototype or something.
A human?
Does it matter? Tried hypnotherapy.
On the Songbird. How'd that go?
About as well as you'd expect. Booker, the little girl in the film. It's me. My God. I remember he'd crashed into the tower. I guess he was in some sort of fight. I waited there thinking I don't know, that something would happen, but he just lay there. Moaning. I couldn't just...
The lion with the thorn in its paw. So much for science.
I should have just left him there to die. I should have just... I will never escape it. Exploited, exploiting. Me, Comstock, you, Sally. It's like a wheel of blood spinning round and round. Well, this must be the genetic sample Suchong wanted.
He sent you all the way back here for a sample of your own hair.
He doesn't know I was once the child that imprinted on Songbird. But to him, all the answers lie in DNA. Men like Suchong mistake an ounce of empathy for a pound of science.
It's open. See if anything's run through. Check for regulars. Spread out. Someone's sneaking around.
You're gonna die.
Here I come.
Who's out there?
Little piggy. Long live.
Lousy traitors.
Hey! What are you doing? Hunt you down! When I find you,
occurred to me that this breakthrough regarding the songbird casts my arrangement with the Oriental Doctor in a new light. What more could be gained by this continued partnership? What secrets that I could not answer for myself? Su Chong can only offer table scraps, and Jeremiah Fink has richer meat in mind.
What you got there?
Dunno. Just grabbing anything that looks halfway there.
Over here! Take a leg!
Since when did you become Lord and Master? Used to do for the man. Nowadays I do for myself.
Come out, Piggy!
Don't think you can hide from me.
I can smell ya. You're feared of me.
I'll find her. Chasing through shadows. Who's out there?
I heard you. I'll hush you down.
Here I come. Who's on this? Someone about?
Let somebody else look for her. You see where she went? Kill yourself! I'll find her.
Never stop fighting!
You'll die, bad.
Here I come!
Long live Daisy!
All things die! I'll hunt you down. Little piggy! You see where she went? To honor! Ha! Ah!
Do you think Daisy really even had a choice?
What do you mean?
Right about now, I'm planting a pair of scissors in her back to protect a child she was never going to harm. But she chose to die for her revolution. What about me? For all the endless worlds, all the infinite possibilities. Did I ever even have a choice? Did you?
Yeah. Booker thought he did.
Look where it got us. Right back where we started. All these infinite universes. And yet we end up just going down the same paths.
I don't take your meaning.
My father sold me to settle a marker. Comstock locked me up in a tower. And I sold Sally for what? Revenge? To prove a point?
And yet, here you are, settling the debt.
And say we find her. The old past their damage to the young. Isn't it too late for her now?
Well, I'd say that's up to her to decide. Just as coming back here was up to you.
Rapture runs on children. Little girls with gold growing in their bellies. I'm not gonna break any cycle. If I'm lucky, maybe I can dent it. Just a little.